Let's talk about Kenny Pickett, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm starting to have a lot of concerns about Kenny Pickett moving forward with this team. And I have been a very Kenny Pickett apologist in the past. I've been a big guy that's been making a lot of excuses for him, saying that the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, is terrible. And they should still move on from Matt Canada, in my opinion. Just because you came down there to the sideline doesn't mean anything. The concepts still were not good against Tennessee Titans, but they were not horrible. One thing that I'm looking at with Kenny Pickett, when he goes against man coverage, he is getting exposed. Now, he is fine against the blitz. Last season, he had a 71 completion percentage against the blitz, and he has been solid against the blitz. But when they go in man coverage and they force him to read in certain combo coverages where they're running some man mixed in with some zone, he looks like a complete deer in headlights. He'll just throw the ball into double coverage, or the anticipation is not there. He has 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, but this is something that's more startling to me. His completion percentage versus man is 43%. That's 35th in the NFL. His completion percentage versus zone is 70%. That's 17th in the NFL. His passing rating versus man is 65.7. That's number 32 in the NFL. And his pass rating versus zone coverage is 91.8. That's 18th in the NFL. So when they're able to go into zone coverage, when defenses do that, he's a significantly better quarterback. But when they run press man coverage, he doesn't know what to do. Now, that could be a detriment to the play calling on Matt Canada and the wide receivers not creating separation. And you see a lot of times that George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, when they get into those press man coverage situations, they have a lot of times getting away from the press to where he has to throw the ball into contested windows. And we saw that in the preseason against the Atlanta Falcons. They ran man coverage. George Pickens just bodies the cornerback for it. That's fine when it works, but when it doesn't work, it looks terrible. But it's also something else as well with Kenny Pickett. They run a lot of curl routes, too many curl routes. And we saw it against Tennessee Titans. He overthrew Deontay Johnson for like 10 yards. It just sailed over his head. It was another situation. George Pickens is wide open. He gets tunnel vision. He didn't see him. He locked on to Deontay Johnson into double coverage and almost went for another interception. He has to be better in those situations. Another example of him not scanning the field properly is when he hurt his knee. Now, Matt Canada did call shotgun on 4th and 1, which is ridiculous in my opinion. Should have just ran for it. But Najee Harris was wide open on the left side. He didn't see him because he was locked in on the middle of the field. Kenny Pickett does not have many throws to the left or to the right early in the game. He's always locked in on the middle of the field. Look at the Las Vegas Raiders game. When they started to take away the middle of the field, he was throwing a lot of questionable balls towards the middle of the field. He was also very indecisive as well. Kenny Pickett has to be better there, especially if he wants to be a franchise quarterback with this team. In the past, I said I believe that he could be a very good quarterback for this team. Right now, I don't think that he is a franchise quarterback for this team, because I've seen them go against other teams, and you just saw them go against Tennessee Titans last night. Will Levis was making some amazing throws, and he had a better game than Kenny Pickett. He wasn't overthrowing wide receivers. He was very decisive with the football. And he's a rookie starting in his second game. Kenny Pickett doesn't get that luxury anymore of the fact that, well, he didn't get first team reps like last season. Mitch Trubisky sucked up the first team reps last season. He got first team reps this season. He's in his second season with his offensive coordinator in Matt Canada. Sure, the offensive line has had moments in games when it hasn't looked very good, but they've also had moments in times where when they have given Kenny Pickett a lot of good protection, but yet he can't scan the field and his arm has let him down. For whatever reason, he underthrows a lot of passes 20 plus yards down the field. But when it's 5 to 10 yards down the field, he's overthrowing them a lot. He has to get that under control. And that was a knock on him in Pitt. A lot of his plays came from big bombs deep from Jordan Addison. And I'm starting to agree with my boy Ross Swisher right here in the comment section below. A lot of Kenny Pickett's struggles are because of his arm and his lack of anticipation. And that doesn't come with coaching. A coach can help with that, but they just can't completely fix that. They can mask those mistakes, but they just can't go out there and 100% just fix that. He has to be a better quarterback for this team, because if he is not, the Steelers team's not going to go anywhere. They're winning a lot of games in spite of Kenny Pickett right now. And like I'm saying this right here, I don't think that Mr. Trubisky should come in and be the starter, because he's terrible. In my opinion, he's the worst quarterback on this roster. The second best quarterback is Mason Rudolph, and I do believe Kenny Pickett is still the best quarterback on this team. He's still young in his career. This is just his second season. But if the Steelers do not see any progression moving forward, I have no problem with them moving on from Kenny Pickett after this season. And I'm not just saying this because of one bad game against Tennessee Titans. I'm saying this after a lot of bad games this season. You look at what the San Francisco 49ers did in week 1. They forced him to throw 2 interceptions. You look at what the Houston Texans did. They forced a lot of pressure on him. They forced him to read the defense. He was not able to do that. A guy that you spent a first-round pick on has to come up big at some point in time. And right now, he has not done that. Against the Baltimore Ravens, he did a lot of good in the fourth quarter. And that's something I have to give him a credit to as well. Give him a lot of criticism. I'm going to give him some credit. Since he's been drafted, he's had 7 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter, which is ridiculous. That's some of the most in the NFL for sure. But this is the NFL. You can't just go out there for 3 quarters straight and do nothing. And then when the fourth quarter comes up, you're Mr. Clutch time. Because look at what happened against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though he went out in that game, you put yourself in so much of a hole, it's hard to come out of. I just need Kenny Pickett to be more consistent early in the game, do better with his anticipation, and get some things going. Hopefully, he can recover from the rib injury, and I do believe the ribs played a big part into why he was not able to get in a groove against the Tennessee Titans. Later in the game, he was able to, but we have seen a lot of instances throughout the season when he isn't hurt to where he looks like a deer in headlights. I still think that Kenny Pickett can be a solid quarterback for this team, but he's definitely not going to be the reason to why this team makes the playoffs. They have to lean on the run game and Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, and when they run the football, they're in a better situation. Look at what happened against the Los Angeles Rams. They were running the football towards the end of the game, and Kenny Pickett got going on that last offensive drive of the game when they scored that touchdown before he went for the quarterback sneak and they gave him the first down. The drive before then, Kenny Pickett looked real good because he wasn't the first option. He has to be a quarterback that works off the run game. Right now, he's not good enough to carry an offense. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Kenny Pickett and the Steelers. Am I being too hard on Kenny Pickett, and can he get better moving forward? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.